Michael B. Jordan is reportedly linked to Korean-Australian actress Yerin Ha.
The two snapped a photo together. Yerin had an interview with Elle magazine where she referenced MBJ as a hopeful run-in. Shortly after the event, Michael B. Jordan followed Yerin Ha on Instagram. But then fans spotted comments on her post. Fans also noticed that MBJ had liked her post from 2025. Now, of course, social media has immediately gone into full matchmaking mode. Sinners star and the new leading lady of Bridgerton, I mean, that's a power couple that would be off the charts.
And people are already talking non-stop about it. She's not just some random name either. You probably recognize her as Sophie Beck from Bridgerton, created by powerhouse Shonda Rhimes. Her performance in Season 4 had fans locked in, praising her beauty, her vibe, and the way she completely owned every scene she stepped into. But her rise didn't just start there. Before Bridgerton, she was personally selected by Steven Spielberg's team to star in the series Halo, acting alongside veteran actor Bokeem Woodbine. That's not luck. That's serious industry backing. And it shows she's been on the radar for a while. And her background? It goes deep. She's not just another Netflix face. This is acting royalty. Her grandmother, Sun Suk, is a respected legend in South Korean cinema and even served as the former Minister of Environment. It's literally in her blood. Welcome back to Fame Thunder. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Your support really helps us grow and keep bringing you more content. So thank you for being part of the journey. Now here's where things start getting interesting. Yerin once mentioned Michael B. Jordan in an Elle magazine interview before the Oscars, saying she was excited to meet him and his co-stars. That alone had people raising eyebrows. But then came the SAG Awards after-party, where the two were seen together and even posed for a photo. But the real drama kicked off after the cameras stopped. Michael, who usually keeps his social media clean and professional, was suddenly caught deep diving into her posts, liking pictures from way back in 2025, and even dropping emojis on her TikToks. That's when fans really started connecting the dots. Jordan reportedly popped up liking older posts on Yerin Ha's page. Content you don't just casually see unless you're really scrolling deep into her Instagram timeline. That kind of activity takes effort, and fans definitely noticed it right away. It didn't stop there either. He was also seen interacting with her TikTok dance clips through Bridgerton fan accounts, which only made the whole situation look even more intentional and way harder to ignore. Of course, Yerin isn't the first global star to have Michael B. Jordan on her radar. Back in 2018, tennis superstar Naomi Osaka, who has Japanese and Haitian roots, openly told Ellen DeGeneres that Michael was her celebrity crush.
Celebrity crush? Come on, you can make it happen. You're very famous now.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but he was in Black Panther, but he was the villain.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Do you want me to text him right now?
No.
I will. Seriously, someone get my phone. I'm going to text Michael, and I'm going to tell him that he should meet you.
No. I'm okay.
All right.
And the moment instantly went viral. Michael didn't ignore it either. He sent Naomi a personal video message, and it had her blushing like crazy for weeks. Fans couldn't stop talking about it. Even though nothing romantic came from that moment, people now look back and wonder if that was the beginning of a bigger pattern. And when you look closer, the connection starts to make more sense. Michael has shown real interest in Asian culture over the years, from his love of the food to even bringing in a celebrity Asian chef for a private cooking session at his own home. That's not just casual curiosity, that's genuine appreciation. He also took a solo trip to Japan recently.
So I took my first solo trip, and I was out in Japan solo. Just kind of went out there and just spent my time. Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the solo trip?
No questions. I ain't had to give no answers. It was actually just kind of chilling, being in my own thoughts. You know what I mean? Kind of just like reflecting a little bit on the last 2 years, which has been like a moving train, man. But it's been full of blessings, a lot of great opportunities, full of grace, and just ready to hit 2026 with hitting the ground running.
Fully immersing himself in the experience and exploring the culture firsthand. All of this combined has fans saying the same thing. This connection doesn't feel random at all. And that's exactly why people are now looking at Michael B. Jordan a little differently. But to really understand how he got here, let's go back to the early days. Michael B. Jordan wasn't just another student walking the halls at Arts High School in Newark, New Jersey. His path already felt different from everyone around him. While most students were caught up in trends, social circles, Michael was already thinking bigger, stepping into acting roles as a teenager on The Wire, and quietly building something real. He would show up to school with his headshots ready, moving with clear purpose and zero interest in trying to impress people the usual way. That kind of focus didn't go unnoticed. It made people stop and look twice because he wasn't following the crowd at all. He wasn't chasing popularity, and he definitely wasn't copying what everyone else was doing. Instead, he stayed grounded, respectful, and completely drama-free, keeping his circle tight and his mindset even tighter. That level of discipline stood out, even if people didn't fully get it at first. He wasn't loud or flashy about his goals, but his ambition spoke loud enough on its own, setting him apart in a major way. And over time, that difference started to draw attention, but not always the smooth kind. When someone moves differently, people are going to talk. Some couldn't quite figure him out, so instead of understanding the grind, they started putting labels on him. But Michael didn't fold under that pressure. He stayed consistent, never switching up just to fit in, and that steady approach would later become one of his strongest advantages in the industry. As his name slowly started gaining traction beyond the school walls, that same focus and discipline began turning into something much bigger. And people who once doubted him started seeing it for what it really was. Later on, when Michael B. Jordan was linked to Lori Harvey, people started putting the pieces together. They began to realize this wasn't just some random high school story. This was someone who had been building something real from the very beginning, even when nobody around him fully saw the vision yet. And here's the part that surprises people the most. He was actually called corny back then. Yeah, that label got thrown on him, but Michael didn't run from it at all. He leaned into it and let his results do all the talking. As he got older, he proved that staying focused, disciplined, and true to yourself can seriously pay off in a big way. Just look at where he is now. The same traits people once joked about ended up becoming part of his winning formula.
Got Michael B. Jordan, the director and the star of Creed 3. And you know, we know each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay?
The corny kid, right?
No, I did not say that. Misquoted for sure. No, you did not hear me say I said we used to make fun of the name. But yeah, he is obviously killing things out here. Well, you're not corny anymore.
And honestly, his story hits deeper than just him. It reflects what a lot of young men go through. Being serious about school, showing respect, and carrying yourself with discipline didn't always get the recognition it deserved. Instead, people would clown that energy, like working hard or having manners somehow made you less appealing. That kind of mindset had a real effect, especially when it came to confidence in dating. If you didn't fit a certain image, way of speaking, or social vibe people expected, it could make you feel like you were on the outside looking in. That pressure created a strange situation, and for many, that didn't stop after school. It carried over into adulthood, shaping how they moved in relationships and social spaces. But for someone like Michael B. Jordan, those early experiences didn't trap him. They sharpened him. Instead of folding under pressure, he stayed solid, and that decision ended up separating him from the crowd in a major way. Those early experiences didn't hold him back. They actually pushed Michael B. Jordan to expand his world in a big way. As new doors started opening, he stepped into spaces far beyond what he grew up around. Whether it was traveling, working in new environments, or connecting with completely different types of people, his perspective didn't just grow, it leveled up fast. And a lot of men can relate to that kind of shift. Some went off to PWIs, others moved to new cities, and some even left the country entirely. Living in different places exposes you to new cultures. That kind of change can seriously reshape how you see yourself and what you start valuing in other people. Once you start having those broader experiences, especially when it comes to dating, your outlook naturally evolves. You meet different kinds of women, hear new perspectives, and begin to understand connections on a deeper level. And that's exactly the lane Michael started stepping into as his life kept rising and his circle kept expanding, and people definitely noticed. For a while, he was often seen dating women from different backgrounds, and that quickly became a hot topic. Folks started forming opinions, trying to break down his preferences and what it all meant. Everyone had something to say, and the speculation kept building.
Yes, I'm on vacation right now, okay? I'm traveling around. And newsflash, okay? All right? Yeah. There's not a lot of black women in Italy, okay? It's not. It's just not. I'm sorry. It's not, okay? know what I'm saying? The milk after that, I like that too. That's pretty good, all right? I like milk, period. Y'all just doing a lot. Y'all gotta chill.
What's the craziest rumor you've ever heard about yourself?
That I don't date black women.
Then, everything shifted when he entered a high-profile relationship with Lori Harvey. And suddenly, all eyes were locked in even more. And just like that, people switched up the conversation. Suddenly it was, okay, so he does have love for black women, and everyone had something to say about it. But just as fast as that relationship with Lori Harvey went public, it came to an end, and Michael was right back in his zone, focusing on himself and his career like nothing ever shook him. Once he was single again, he didn't slow down for a second. He stayed locked in, building his name even bigger and moving with the same discipline he's always had. No distractions, no noise, just work and elevation. But the public, they never stop watching. And it didn't take long before new rumors started heating up again. This time, people were saying he might be stepping back into the dating scene. And of course, the internet immediately zoomed in on one detail. The woman he was being linked to wasn't black. The name that started circulating was Asian actress Yerin Ha, and the timing had everyone extra curious. Not long after a major career moment, on March 15th, he was reportedly spotted out in Malibu at a place called Jeffrey's. Now, Jeffrey's isn't just any spot. It's known as a low-key celebrity hideout, where big names go when they want privacy and don't want cameras all in their face. That's exactly where Michael B. Jordan was seen. And once that detail got out, the speculation only got louder. Michael B. Jordan was reportedly seen enjoying dinner and drinks with her, and you already know people were paying very close attention. Witnesses said the two didn't come off like just casual friends at all. The vibe felt warm, natural, and full of energy. Michael was all smiles. She looked stunning, and the chemistry between them had people talking instantly. Moments like this always spark bigger conversations, and this situation was no different. It brought attention right back to a topic that keeps coming up around successful, driven men, especially within black communities. Why do some of them end up dating outside of it? That question had people debating from every angle. Opinions started flying, perspectives clashed, and everyone tried to break it down in their own way. It quickly turned into a much bigger discussion than just one dinner sighting. Shout out to Brother Mark Cruz, who shared a perspective that's been getting a lot of reactions.
Especially at the gym, they'll smile at you, say hello to you, how you doing, how's it going? A black woman, she ain't saying shit. She walk around with the look like she lost her EBT card. They got this demeanor on their look like, when I'm gonna get these bills paid, or when I'm gonna get this college student debt loan paid off. Just a lot of things, they're just not approachable.
He suggested that some black women can come across as less approachable than people might expect. But that idea isn't as simple as it sounds at all. There are real layers to it, and people on all sides see it differently. Some argue that confidence and high standards can easily be misunderstood. What might look like distance or disinterest could actually just be someone knowing their worth and refusing to settle. Others push back hard on that and say the issue isn't about approachability at all. It's more about communication styles, timing, and how people present themselves. Either way, the conversation keeps evolving, and moments like this only turn the volume up even more. It quickly turns into a much bigger conversation about perception versus reality, and how fast people jump to conclusions without really understanding each other. At the same time, there are plenty of voices pointing out that modern dating isn't what it used to be at all. Social media, lifestyle expectations, and past experiences all play a huge role in how people interact now, and that shift has changed the entire vibe. Because of that, things can feel way more complicated than before. So when statements like these pop up, the debate gets intense, because everyone is bringing their own personal experiences into it, and not everyone sees things the same way. Then another layer gets added, and it pushes the conversation even further. Some people claim that Asian women come across as more open in social settings, more willing to engage, and easier to approach overall. But even that perspective isn't as simple as it sounds. What one person sees as more open, someone else might see as just a different communication style or a cultural difference in how people socialize. It's not always about one group being one way and another group being something else. That kind of thinking misses the bigger picture completely. A lot of this really comes down to individual personalities. the environment people are in, and how two people connect in a specific moment. Still, these comparisons keep popping up, and they start shaping how people think about dating in a major way. For some men, those experiences push them to explore connections outside of what they're used to, especially if they feel like they're being received differently. But that doesn't automatically make one side better than the other at all. It just shows how powerful perception and personal experience can be over time. And once those patterns start forming, they can seriously influence who people choose to spend time with and how they move in the dating world. And that's where things really start to shift. Now, this brother comes across as thoughtful, sharp, and well-spoken. And what he said really made people pause and think for a second. He didn't dance around it either. He said it straight up.
I understand. I mean, I was never one of those people who was like, man, black girls just don't like me. Like, I knew that there were black women that liked me, but my thought process was like, black women don't like me the way that I like them. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of like me. They don't like me the way that I like them, which, I don't know, that might.
There are black women who like me, and I definitely love black women. But then he got real about the part that doesn't get talked about enough. He explained that the women he's truly interested in don't always return that same level of energy. And that mismatch? It creates real frustration, especially when your intentions are genuine, but the feelings just aren't lining up the way you hoped. Then he added another layer. He said when he connects with women from other backgrounds, the energy feels different. More mutual, more natural. Conversations flow easier. The interest feels balanced, and the overall vibe just clicks in a way that stands out. Experiences like that can really shape how someone starts to view dating over time, especially when the pattern keeps repeating. Now bring that back to Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey, because their situation had people analyzing everything from the outside looking in. It seemed like Michael may have been ready for something deeper, possibly long-term commitment, while Lori Harvey was in a completely different phase of her life. And when those timelines don't match up, even strong connections can fall apart. It doesn't always mean something went wrong. It can simply come down to two people wanting different things.
What does being the sexiest man alive find love?
It's very lonely. Finding the right person to understand, all of me, but then all that comes with me as well. Bringing them into my world and what I got going on isn't easy. It's not just, I love you, you love me, that should be enough, right? It's not quite that simple.
So what does that really show? It suggests that, yeah, there was interest, but not necessarily at the same level or moving in the same direction. One person might be all in, fully invested, while the other is still figuring things out. It comes down to timing, priorities, and what each person truly wants out of the situation. Two people can genuinely connect and still not be aligned where it matters most. Now picture this. You're a successful man, focused, driven, and clear about the kind of partner you want. But then you realize the person you're drawn to doesn't feel the same way about you. That's where things get complicated real quick. Because no matter how much you've achieved, attraction and connection don't follow a checklist at all. This is where the conversation starts getting even more real. Some people are starting to say that in today's world, a lot of black men aren't automatically prioritizing dating within their own community based on shared background alone. The thinking behind it feels straightforward. Just because two people come from the same culture doesn't guarantee compatibility or even mutual interest. And for many, especially those who feel like they have more options, their approach to dating naturally becomes more open and less restricted. That shift in mindset is exactly what keeps this whole conversation going strong. It turns into a situation where people are chasing real alignment instead of feeling like they have to stay in a certain lane. That shift in mindset has seriously changed how relationships are forming, and more people are starting to speak on it openly. Now, when you look at someone like Michael B. Jordan, his environment plays a huge role in all of this. He's constantly moving in high-level spaces, surrounded by people from all kinds of backgrounds, especially in places like Hollywood and Malibu. His circle naturally becomes diverse, and that kind of exposure makes it completely normal for him to connect with different types of people on a regular basis. Being adaptable in those environments becomes second nature, and that kind of flexibility opens the door to even more possibilities in his personal life. It's not about choosing one over another. It's about moving comfortably in multiple spaces and connecting where the energy feels right. So when a relationship like the one with Lori Harvey doesn't work out, it doesn't leave him stuck or boxed in. If the connection isn't being matched the way he wants, he has the freedom to move forward and meet someone who's more aligned with where he is in life. That's the reality for a lot of successful men who are constantly meeting new people and stepping into different environments. And here's something that needs to be said clearly. A lot of Black men genuinely care about Black women. No question about it. It's not about a lack of attraction or appreciation at all. The respect is there, the interest is real, and the connection absolutely exists. But sometimes the challenge shows up in how people relate to each other. That's where things can get complicated, and that's where a lot of these conversations really start to heat up. On a day-to-day level, things can get real nuanced. Success by itself doesn't guarantee a real connection. You can be accomplished, put together, and have plenty of options, but that only gets your foot in the door. What really matters is what happens after that. How two people communicate, how they relate, and how well they understand each other's world. And for some women, especially those who may not have been exposed to certain types of men growing up, it can take time to fully connect with someone who moves differently. That's not a flaw at all. It's just a difference in life experience and perspective. Even when both people are successful, that doesn't automatically mean they're the right match. And that's where things can quietly fall apart if the deeper connection isn't there. When you look at Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey, their situation really highlights this. From the outside, everything looked aligned. Status, attraction, visibility. Underneath that, things still have to connect on a deeper level for it to actually last. And if one person starts to feel like their energy, effort, or vision isn't being matched, they're naturally going to move in a different direction. That shift doesn't always come with drama. It can just be a quiet realization that things aren't fully aligned. At the end of the day, if someone isn't truly appreciating what you bring to the table, there will always be someone else who does. And that's what keeps people moving forward. So the big question everyone keeps throwing around is this: did Lori Harvey fumble the bag? That's the headline people love to run with, and it gets attention every single time. But the real answer? It's not that simple at all. Maybe she did, or maybe she didn't. Because at the end of the day, everyone's path, timing, and priorities are completely different. She's still young, still building her life, and still has options in every direction. That part gets overlooked when people rush to judge the situation. What really has people talking is the pattern they think they're seeing. Sometimes a man who is focused, disciplined, and moving with purpose doesn't immediately come off as exciting in the traditional sense. He's not always the loudest in the room or the most unpredictable. And in today's world, that can get misunderstood fast. So when that type of man gets overlooked, people start paying attention when someone from a completely different background steps in and values those exact same qualities. And that's when the conversation really starts heating up. Now let's be real for a second. A man who is a builder, someone who is constantly working, planning, and staying locked into his goals, isn't always going to come off as flashy or spontaneous. His lifestyle is structured, his routine is tight, and his energy is going toward long-term success. That kind of consistency can feel calm, even predictable, especially in a world that constantly pushes excitement, fast energy, and non-stop stimulation. But that doesn't mean there's no connection or no depth. It just means his focus is different. He's thinking long-term, making calculated moves, and staying disciplined. And sometimes that can leave less room for spontaneous moments or constant attention. For some people, that feels like stability and security. But for others, it can feel like something is missing. And that's exactly where differences in expectations start to show, and where things can either align or slowly fall apart. One person might truly value that steady, focused energy, while another might be looking for something that feels more emotionally engaging on a daily basis. So when people look back at Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey, they try to label it as a win or a loss. But relationships don't work like that. It's not about who won or who lost. It's about alignment, timing, and what both people genuinely want out of life. And let's not ignore this part either. Being with a man like that comes with real sacrifices. There's no way around it. When someone is deeply focused on building something long-term, their time, energy, and attention are locked into that mission. That kind of lifestyle can be challenging if you're not used to it or haven't experienced it up close before. For some women, especially if they didn't grow up around men who were constantly working toward big goals, It can feel unfamiliar, or even frustrating at times. It's not always easy adjusting to a routine where discipline, structure, and work take priority most days. That doesn't mean it can't work, but it does require real understanding and patience from both sides. On the flip side, there are women who already understand that dynamic. Maybe they've seen it through family or past experiences, so they know exactly what comes with it. They understand that supporting a man who is building often means making space for his goals, respecting his process, and being aligned with a bigger vision. That kind of awareness can make everything flow a lot smoother and remove a lot of unnecessary tension. And here's another layer people don't always say out loud. When a man has spent years leveling up through discipline, consistency, and focus, he naturally ends up with more options. That's just the reality of growth. One person might value that steady, focused energy, while another might want something that feels more emotionally engaging on a day-to-day basis. And the truth is, neither side is wrong. It really comes down to what fits each person best. So when people look back at Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey, they try to turn it into a win or a loss. But it's not that simple at all. Relationships don't work like scoreboards. It's really about alignment, timing, and what both people genuinely want out of life. And let's be honest here. Being with a man like that comes with real sacrifices. No way around it. When someone is fully locked in on building something long-term, their time, energy, and attention are tied to that bigger mission. That kind of lifestyle can feel challenging if you're not used to it or haven't experienced it up close before. For some women, especially if they didn't grow up around men constantly chasing big goals, it might feel unfamiliar or even frustrating at times, adjusting to a routine where discipline, structure, and work come first. Most days isn't easy. On the other side, there are women who already understand that kind of dynamic. Maybe they've seen it through family or past relationships, so they know what comes with it. They understand that supporting a man who is building means making space for his goals, respecting his process, and staying aligned with a bigger vision. That level of awareness can make things flow a lot smoother and remove a lot of unnecessary tension. When a man has spent years leveling up through discipline, consistency, and focus, he naturally ends up with more options. That's just how growth works. And once those options open up, the choices he makes start to reflect not just attraction, but alignment too. Success opens doors, real doors. And over time, those opportunities only get bigger, especially for someone who stayed committed and never lost focus on their path. As the years go by, these men keep building, stacking wins, and creating real stability in their lives. So when they finally reach that level they've been grinding toward, they're not just looking for anyone. They're looking for someone who truly understands that journey, someone who respects what it took to get there, and can actually connect with that experience on a deeper level. That's why you'll often see them gravitate toward women who align with their lifestyle and mindset. Whether it's someone in similar circles or someone who naturally understands that pace, the connection just feels more balanced and easier to maintain. Looking at Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey, people can debate it all day, but from the outside, it looked like there was a real opportunity there at one point. And if it didn't work out, that's just part of life. It doesn't erase the appreciation or interest that existed. It just shows that sometimes two people aren't fully aligned in the way they need to be. At the end of the day, if someone moves on and builds with someone else, it doesn't mean anything negative about their past. It can just mean the new connection feels stronger, more mutual, and more in sync. That's a reality a lot of people don't always want to admit, but it happens all the time. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about all of this? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's really talk about it. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because there's definitely more you don't want to miss.